a minute. I know what you're thinking. I was like, how to be your best self in 2023, and I gave y'all all those tips. Did none of them. You know what? We just gonna have to talk. We gonna have to talk.
Am I really that much? And breaking these niggas down like a camel. You don't really know you.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, the real Nubian queen, and I'm coming back to you with another video. And it's so good to see y'all. My 100 and what, 15, no, 13, something like that. Hey, it's so good to see y'all. I know what you're thinking. Like, how dare you leave us like that? How dare you just pop back up in front of our screens and we don't know where you've been, what you've been doing, how things been going. I got you. I promise you, I got you. As you can tell by the title of this video, this is going to be a where have you been video while I do my everyday makeup look. Y'all, not too much on me, okay? Not too much. Life been lifing. Y'all already know how it goes, but I'm gonna fill you in. All right, guys. So if it's looking a little different from the first portion of the video, y'all, I accidentally was recording and did not make sure that this microphone was on. But we are filming it again. So here I am about to tell you guys about where I've been and how things have been going. And I have my handy dandy notebook here in case you're wondering where I'm looking off to. My notes are here. I forgot who gave this to me. I think my mentor did. So the last time we all saw each other, I was giving you guys some tips on how to become the best version of yourself in 2023. I thought it was a solid video. However, what's the point of giving people advice if you weren't going to take your own advice? Ha ha ha. So yes, I gave you guys all of those helpful tips and they were still helpful whether I was taking the advice or not. 2023 came in and I was still riding that wave of like not wanting to be on anybody else's clock. I was still actively pursuing my dream as an actress, and like, trying to make that a more consistent thing for me. And I just really wasn't wanting to be on anybody's clock at the time because, I didn't want to. Like, I knew I had other stuff that I was working on and I just didn't want to. So I was doing a lot of gig work like door dashing and spark driving. I also became an acting instructor during this time for a local performing arts center that I was affiliated with, which is really, really, really good because it allowed me to keep my skills sharp while I was teaching others some skills, like the foundational skills that I learned in college. It allowed me an opportunity to teach other children and other adults how to do the same. That was really, really a blessing for me because I still stayed connected to my craft, while I was searching for my next thing that I was going to do. I was getting paid as an acting instructor, but it wasn't like enough to sustain. I still really wasn't feeling fulfilled. Like I still wasn't feeling like I was doing enough and I still was craving stability. Obviously, in my life, I was still craving some stability. So, I had became a substitute teacher. When I became a substitute teacher, like I knew that it was going to be something that was going to work out for me. At the point that I was in life, you don't know, as a substitute teacher, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. You don't have to work when you don't want to work. It could literally just be like extra money or side money for you or whatever the case may be, but you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. At the time, that was really, it was really beneficial to me. It was really working out for me and I enjoyed it. And I still am a substitute teacher right now. However, I was still at the time craving that stability, and really wanting to make more money at the time. Like, I was still pursuing acting, but, I wanted to make more money My mentor ended up telling me about this program called Teach for America. I applied for the program, and I just thought that I had a really great chance to get in because I was passionate and I had a lot of wonderful ideas as far as theater goes. And, at the time, I just knew that it was something that I could do. But I ended up not getting in. They denied me. And I was extremely devastated by being denied because at that point, I just started like questioning God, like, why I felt like God had left me. I'm one of those people who feel like God may know the desires of your heart and what you're actually feeling. Yes, but I still think it's important to vocalize it, no matter how good, bad, ugly, or uncomfortable it can be, to tell God truly how you really are feeling. Because I feel like that's when he does his best work, is when you're being absolutely honest. If you're upset with him, of course, none of it is ever his fault per se, but like when you're upset with him, like tell him. When you are, feeling some type of way, conflicted in your spirit, when you're feeling horny, when you're feeling happy, when you're feeling sad, when you are feeling angry, when you're mad at someone, when you're mad at him, like I believe in just being absolutely 100 with God, because I feel like that is when he shows up and he does his best work. And so I straight up told God, like, I felt like he left me. Like, I felt like, like, what do you want from me? What am I not doing right? Like, how could I get denied becoming a teacher? Like, I just felt like I thought it was going to be a sure thing or whatnot. And I let my frustrations be known to God. And we have that kind of relationship to where it was like, you can tell me what it is that you're actually feeling, because I know he won't judge me. And I know that this is when, like I said, he does his best work. And that's what happened. So I ended 2023 looking for some direction, wanting God to like do his big one. Going into 2024, I just remember like feeling different. Like I just remember like saying, dang, like this year is going to be amazing. Like I can't believe we just walked into a new year. And I was just feeling, so grateful and so thankful, as if I had never been in a new year before or seen a new year come. I felt the energy in the air. I just knew that God was about to do his big one, and that, everything was going to work out for the best. There is a church in Columbia, South Carolina that I had been dating for a while, getting to know the church, getting to know some people, getting used to the leadership, and seeing if this was like the place for me. It's called Forward City Church. If you're familiar with Travis Green and Pastor Travis Green, and Dr. Jackie Green, then you know about Forward City Church in Columbia, South Carolina. So I was dating that church for a while. I finally felt my heartstrings being tugged on by God, saying like, hey, you've been dating this church for a while. Like, it's time to join. It's time to get connected. It's time to start serving and, walking into a different element. The first service of 2023, I joined the church. That service was called Accelerate, Activate, something like that.
So I just want to clear up the fact that I did join in the year of 2024, but it wasn't that service. It was the Accelerate service, and the Accelerate service was the second service of the year. I went digging in my notes and I saw that it was the second service of the year, but I will post notes from that service because they don't have the video from that service
like
up anymore.
Activating our
I just wanted to
faith
clear that up.
for 2024 at the time. Our corporate mission was to get ahead of it. Genuinely felt like more like a motivational type service instead of like a preaching or teaching the word of God. Like, of course there was some teaching in there, but like it was more so of like a motivational service for me, just activating your faith, just straight up. Like, I think he even said in the service, like, I'm not here to preach you, I'm here to activate your faith. I'm here to activate you in the year of 2024. Anyway, so I want to say this was around, the end of January. I had went on the corporate fast with my church, and God was just like speaking to me. He was doing things in a mighty way, like things that I had never seen done in my life. Fast forward, I was having a conversation with my mentor, and I don't remember what it was about or what started the conversation, but I just know by the end of the conversation, my mentor ends up saying like,
You should think about
just thought it was
being a
crazy that
therapist or a
she said
counselor.
that, because when I was in high school, I had did my senior thesis on the parallels between acting and psychology. And when I was in high school, I did want to be a marriage counselor. I remember that being one of my career choices when I was in high school. So I wasn't like completely shocked to hear that. Like, people have told me plenty of times that I should become a counselor. It was just shocking that, that was coming back in my life again. Again, I felt God pulling at my heartstrings and saying basically like, hey, it's time to give into that old dream again. Like, it's time to think about that again. And I thought about it and I was like, okay, like, if you say so, like, if this is for me, then I'm down. But the thing that came with that is like God directing me to the school that he wanted me to go to. I always looked at USC as like a prestigious school. Even when I was a child, I always looked at it like it was a prestigious school. Like, to me, it was like top dog of South Carolina, or really like the whole Southeast to me. It was a top dog school. So I always looked at it as very prestigious. I had always wanted to go, but always felt insecure about applying, thinking that like I wasn't going to get in, or I wasn't good enough, or anything like that. But again, God tugging at those heartstrings, I applied. And I applied with a GPA that I didn't think was that great. I didn't even think that they would even look at my application, because I was just insecure about my GPA. And then, of course, I graduated undergrad with a theater degree, or visual and performing arts degree. I did not think that, it was just going to lead me to applying to be a counselor, or applying to the counseling education program. But lo and behold, in March, I got an interview from them. And then at the end of March, or the beginning of April, something like that, I ended up getting into USC. I'll tell you how good God is. So I ended up running into people who I hadn't seen in forever. So like, it was one day I was in the gym, and I had seen my 5th grade guidance counselor, and he literally called me by my name. And I was just looking like, I have no idea who you are. And then he told me who he was, and I was just like, dang, if you remember me from that 1 year, because I was only with that school for 1 year. If you remember me from that year, I must was stressing you out. So he called me by my name, and we just ended up seeing each other every now and then. And so I had finally worked up the courage to let him know that I was interested in applying to being a counselor, and asking him if he could do a recommendation letter for me. And he was more than happy to do it. So I just thought that that was amazing. My mentor, of course, did a recommendation for me. And then my college professor, Mr. Toure, shout out to him, he did a recommendation for me. And I just think it was amazing to see how that played out, because like I said, I ended up getting in even when I thought that I was like underqualified and I just didn't have the criteria to get in. I ended up getting in. Yeah, I just am super grateful for that happening in 2024. And I just don't believe that it would have happened like that if I didn't activate my faith in the beginning of the year and basically gave everything to God. Like, I did not make any plans. I didn't make any goals. Only thing I kept saying was, God, whatever you gonna do in the year 2024, just don't do it without me. But I'm not making no plans. I'm not making no goals. I'm just leaving it in your hands, and whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I trust you, and I know that you're going to do everything for my good. And that's just what ended up happening. So the summer of 2024 came, and my first semester of counseling school had started, and I just met a lot of wonderful people. I felt like I was finally getting the community that I had always wanted, as far as professionals goes. I just was meeting a whole lot of wonderful people. And I just knew like I wanted to do school differently this time. Like I knew that I wanted to put my best foot forward and be the student that I knew I could have been in undergrad had I been taking it seriously. I ended my first semester, even though it was hard, I ended my first semester with a 4.0. The girl who I ended up doing my interview with to get into USC, we just connected really, really, really well. I mean, I saw her and I was just like, I knew, like, she gave me a boost of confidence in what I was doing. I sat right next to her, and coincidentally, we ended up being in the same group for interviews, and we ended up being on the same track as far as family, couples, and marital counseling goes. So we just really became connected. We stayed connected even after the interviews, and we just was saying, like, you know, if you get in, I have to get in, and I get in, you have to get in. Like, they cannot just take one of us. They have to take both of us. We're in this together or whatever. We prayed together before we left the interviews, and then we end up both getting in. So she is now my current roommate. And she's now my friend, my sister. You know, so I appreciate that connection. I appreciate that God working through that as well, because I don't think that, I mean, I'm sure that I would have went through with it, but I don't think that I would have had the confidence that I had I not met her. She was just, you know, so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and was optimistic, and she just knew like she had it in the bag. Even if she didn't know, she just carried herself like she had it in the bag. Like she was not tripping or whatever, and she just flushed all of my nerves away. So like I said, that's now my current roommate. We live together. And even God worked out this living situation for me, because at first I didn't think that it was going to happen because I didn't have the money to, but God ended up blessing me literally the day before it was time to put the money down for this place and everything. He ended up blessing me. And that's what I mean when I just say, like, I just believe that God had it worked out the whole time. Like, it was a part of the plan the whole time. And all I had to do was just continue to walk with him and trust him and leave everything to him and know that, you know, everything will be okay. He had it worked out the whole time for my good. Make sure you take your vitamins and drink your water. Also, I ended up as a substitute teacher. I ended up going to this school where I had met or re-met my favorite of all time, like top two, and he ain't even number two, like my favorite teacher of all time, my fourth grade teacher. I ended up seeing him at the school that I was working at. And when I tell you, that moment for me was like absolutely amazing, because I mean, I don't want to sound weird or anything, but like that man truly made a significant impact on my life. Like, it's so crazy to me to think about the things that I remember and how it shaped me as a woman today from the things that he taught me in the fourth grade. So it was absolutely amazing to see him again as an adult, so he can see, like, you know, hey, all of your hard work when I was a child, it did not go in vain. Like, I remember that I was your favorite student, whether he remembered or not. I know I was his favorite student. And I just remember him just always being there for me and just pushing me to be the very best that I could be at such a young age. And I do believe that it helped me be the young lady that I am today and be so driven. And I'm so big on education and, you know, taking it as far as you can be. And I just believe that he really, you know, played a part in that. So like I said, to see him in my grown age, and for him to see that, like, I'm fine, like, your hard work did not go in vain. Like, you have a student who will be a success story for you. And like, I always said, like, anytime I would get like an award for acting, or anytime I would do something amazing, like, shout out to the teachers who believed in me, and I didn't have to beg you to do so. And he was one of those teachers who, like, he saw who I was and he saw my potential, and he just believed in me from the time that we met. And so it was so nice getting connected with him as an adult. And when I tell you, he showed up for me just as much as he did when I was a child. He still showed up for me as an adult, Like the play that I had, he came to it, and he would always speak life into me when I was working at the school. And like, you know, he always made me comfortable to, you know, if I needed to come to his class to talk or catch up or anything, like he just always made me comfortable to you know, talk to him. And so I believe that was a full circle moment as well, and it was a God ordained moment, because Lord knows, like, if you really know me, you know, like I credit this man for so much when it came to my life, and you know, the way that I think and all that kind of stuff. And he's just my favorite teacher, like number one. Like, he's my first favorite teacher. And so I just was super grateful to know him in my adult life. Fast forward, I end up working at another school where I got the opportunity to be their long-term theater sub. And I don't know what got mixed up in translation to where they thought that, not they, but like the school had thought that I was going to be the permanent teacher. But during that experience, it definitely made me realize, like, I'm young, hot, and turned, and I only have now to go after what I really want to go after. And so it made me realize, like, I have no desire to be a teacher right now, a full-time teacher right now. I have no desire to work in the public school system right now. Maybe later on in life, but right now, no, because I just liked having my freedom. You know, I know subbing doesn't pay a whole lot, but it was enough to get me by. And I just liked, you know, being stress free. And as much as I love kids, that comes with a lot of work, especially when you're ill prepared, or unprepared. So I ended up leaving that school. So this last semester was my last semester with them, and I ended up leaving, and it was so hard, and it was like so sad, because I did grow to like and love a lot of the students there. I just knew that they were going to be amazing actors. Like, I knew that a lot of them had so much potential, and it was so nice to speak life into them and basically do the things that I wish that somebody would have did for me when I was in school. So, you know, it was just nice to be in that inspirational element. But I just knew, like, the way my life, oh, I messed that up. That's too big. Does it look big on camera? Is it cute, y'all? I don't know. But it just made me you know, realize that I have now to do what I need to do. I don't have any children. I'm not married. Don't have any prospects as far as dating goes. And you know, there's no better time than to chase after my dreams now. Like, it just reenactivated. Is that a word? Activated. It just reactivated my drive to want to take this thing all the way as far as my goals and my dreams. So yeah, here we are. It's 2025, and I am now doing this content creating thing again. I do feel like I have something to bring to the world. I have a lot of different things to bring to the world, and I know this may seem corny, but like, I bring me, like, I bring who I am. I'm learning how to show up authentically as myself on camera. Because before, I just wasn't really able to do that, or for whatever reason, I was too busy always trying to get something right, or look a certain way, or act a certain way. Instead of just, like, you know, being completely myself. And so I'm learning to show up that way in my life and on camera and on social media and in acting. Oh my gosh, I definitely need it in acting, y'all. I absolutely have goals this year that I'm trying to accomplish, that I will accomplish. And not saying that I'm doing anything different than last year, because it's still all in God's hands. It's still you know, within his will and his direction for my life. But I just, you know, am giving it some structure, I guess, for me. And listen, I already told God, like, if this is not what you wanted, if it's not, you know, what you saw for me, just deny it. It ain't no issue, because I'm learning not to I'm learning to see things as a lesson and a blessing. So yeah, here we are going for it in 2025. Going for the content creating, re-falling in love with acting, wanting to earn another stream of income so that I don't have to be dependent on a substitute's check. And wanting to do more with my everyday life, like go to more events, network. I want to travel more. And just, become the woman that I've been destined to be. So yeah, that is pretty much it. That's where I've been. Right now I am entering my third semester of graduate school, which is absolutely crazy to think about. But yeah, so we're giving this thing a try. I have no idea what God wants me to do with counseling. I didn't think that far through. I don't know. It hasn't been revealed to me yet, but I'm running on to seeing what he wants me to do with this.
I'm sorry, guys. The audio cut out. Apparently, the mic died in the middle of the session and I didn't know about it. Clearly, I need to just stop using the mics because it's always been giving me issues. This is like the third time me recording this video, and each time it's been the mics. And honestly, while I'm editing it, I can tell that it actually sounds better to just use my phone. Maybe the mics are not as high quality as I thought they were. But anyways, I have no idea what I was talking about at this point. So we're just going to jump to the end of the video.
So here we are with the finished product. This is how my makeup looked. I hope you guys liked it. And if you don't remember anything that I tell you from this video, just remember that every day that God gives you breath in your body, you have a chance to be better. You have a chance to change the trajectory of your story, of your life. So go for it. You have the opportunity to be great every day. God got something for you. If you are a believer, even if you're not a believer, but God got something for you. So go for it. Let's do it. We're gonna knock 2025 out and we're going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait until I am coming back at the end and letting y'all know, like, girl, I did this, that. I made this much money. I went to this place. I did that. We going for it this year. Like, we're doing it. We're going for it. We're doing it. We're going for it. I love you guys. Make sure that you keep up with me on all social media platforms at The Real Nubian Queen. Don't be afraid to DM me. Let me know what you liked, what you thought about the video, what you would like to see more from. Actually, as a matter of fact, you can drop it in the comments as well, what you would like to see more from me. I got a plan of some things that I want to show, but I'm always down for feedback. Obviously, if you guys are my audience, I will be needing your feedback. So let me know. Until next time, my beautiful royals. Bye. Are we going with royals? Are we going with royals? I don't know.
High volume.
Am I really that?